business tonight. First thing is the election of officers for reorganization of this commission. Do we have any appointments or discussions? Volunteers for president or chairman?
The chair?
Nicole wants to
Nicole?
volunteer.
I nominate Nicole.
Yeah, hold it. You have to open up the nominations. You need a motion to open the nominations
Okay.
for each seat.
All right.
Okay.
Would someone like to open the nomination?
I'd like to nominate Nicole.
No,
Too
you
early.
have to open the nominations.
Shall I just open it, or is it a vote?
You need to make a motion and have it seconded to open the nominations.
I so move.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Now you can take nominations.
All right. Do we have any nominations for president?
For president?
Yeah.
Chair.
Just moving up.
Vote chair.
Nominations for chair.
Chair.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Hey,
Nominate.
Nicole?
Yes.
Any oppositions?
Nominate Teresa.
Teresa? Okay. Nicole and Teresa, anyone else?
Not me.
Okay.
I would
so-
do it if nobody else wants it.
Okay. You have two nominations. Now you need to close the nominations for chair.
Okay. Do we need to vote for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to ask first of all, will the nomination?
No, you've got the nominations, now you need to close the nominations for chair.
Okay. Someone like to close?
Make a motion to close the nomination for chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have Nicole, so do we want to do, just a speaking?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask these two young ladies if they would serve if so voted.
That's
I personally would not.
Okay.
Settles that. Would you,
I didn't-
She doesn't want to
if
serve.
voted, would you?
So
volunteer?
do-
I would serve
Okay.
anyways.
So you don't
Can I
serve?
cast a vote? I cast one vote for Nicole.
Okay. You can do your voting if you'd like, if you're finished deliberating.
Yeah, anybody else have
Any
anything?
other, so we close deliberation?
Are we voting now?
Yeah.
Nicole?
Make a motion to vote.
Okay. Rick,
All, Nicole.
Nicole? Running for yourself?
Yep.
I second.
Okay. You?
What?
Nicole.
Who you voting for?
Nicole for
I
chair.
voted
You know
for
who you're
Nicole.
voting for.
Okay.
He's doing a roll call for the vote.
Yeah.
Oh, roll call
Roll
vote.
call.
All right.
Gino's and I.
All right, addition,
Nicole.
aye for Nicole?
Yes, for Nicole.
Yes.
Yes, for Nicole.
Okay.
That is
unanimous.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Chair.
At this time, though, I'd like to thank the chair that's been acting.
Good thing we do this once a year, huh?
Is it
Yes.
too late for a contingency? Can you do this meeting?
Okay, do you wanna
That's all yours
open-
now.
Are you opening nominations to
Oh, it's up
any
to
other?
Nicole. We could wait until after we do the other,
I would like to begin my chair position in May.
You have to do it now.
that's right now.
Let's start now. This is the reorganization of it. This is
Seriously.
it.
I'll help you.
Nicole, you take over, Nicole, you take over the meeting now.
Okay.
Walk right into it.
How am I playing to? All right, so
Okay.
So why don't you, Art, why don't you give Nicole the chairman's statement? Did you read that when you opened the
Okay,
meeting?
yeah, I'll do that.
Yep, that's a good
Easy,
one.
forget it. That's okay.
Protect everybody.
If this meeting
And their
is being held,
Give it to
is being
them.
recorded, it must be read at the start of each meeting.
We got this.
Oh, you want to read it? Okay.
I have no choice, Art.
Yes, she's doing the.
Sorry, Art.
That's all right, no, it's okay.
Don't.
All right, so we already called to order.
It's the last paragraph.
I was like, what? Please note that this meeting is being made available to the public through a live video and audio broadcast on the Comcast Government Access Channel and is being recorded for broadcast at future dates. Comments made in open session will be recorded. Okay.
So that was perfect timing. You're at 7:05 in your first
Right on.
public hearing.
7:10.
Okay, so I would like to, what am I looking at?
Notice
Give me this, please.
we don't.
I would like to open the public meeting, a notice of intent for 345 Washington Street, DEP number SE 561103. That's not perfect.
They're probably over there.
That's fine.
Anybody want to take their vote back yet? So if you'd like to state your name and who you represent for the town?
So my name is Rob Carlazon, from Green Consulting, representing the applicant, 345 Washington Street LLC. So we have filed a notice of intent for this site, for a proposed addition to a commercial building. So just a little background on the site. This is kind of in North Pembroke, located on the west side of Washington Street. The existing site is developed. There are 2 existing commercial buildings on site. We have a couple of wet resource areas. We have Pudding Brook, a wetland associated with the brook. And actually, the floodplain is actually located downstream of the site, which is this one. So our client is located in the building to the left, shown on the plan. It's, yes, he's an electrical contractor. It's your electrical solution company. So he's looking to expand the existing building that he's in. He currently he has 2 storage trailers that are located, maybe a little hard to see if you have a plan, but they're located kind of right, part of them is actually on the other property.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kind of tucked right in the wetland, too close to wetlands. But obviously it's a temporary fix. So he's looking to expand the building to basically move all the equipment and storage that he has in the trailers into the building. A portion of the addition will be closed, and then a portion of the addition will just be a roof overhang. The good thing is the addition, the entire addition is going to be located entirely within the existing paved area. So we're not increasing any impervious area with this addition. We do have a proposed Cape Cod berm as well that will direct any stormwater runoff or drainage runoff to the existing drainage basin.
Where is it? Can you point it out right now where that is? Exactly.
So here's the addition right here. So the edge of pavement is like right here, kind of along that red dash line. And then this is the existing drainage basin right here.
What's going on the other side of that? On the left side? What's going on there?
So this is our property line right here.
Yeah, are you aware of what's going to be happening on that corner?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware of the building that's going to be happening on that corner?
That's where the old mulch place is, right?
This,
The old
this
landscape.
property, this
Across the street,
is,
isn't it?
this is 369 Washington Street,
Yeah.
owned by the town. So-
Yeah, they're going to be putting a public safety building. It's a huge project, so
Okay,
it might be good to coordinate something with them.
okay. That's
So it's
good.
that lot directly to the left of it.
Yeah, the whole square there.
Right here.
Where you show the storage container over the property line there?
Yep,
Yeah, that's where it's proposed for.
okay.
See, I don't want to put windows there.
Yep, so the plan is to remove these storage trailers to get them off-site, so that's part of the project. Obviously, they're just temporary storage trailers, so get them off-site. The wetland line kind of sort of circles around the existing trailers, so I don't envision there'll be any work done in this particular corner of their property next door.
And you said the overhang. What side of the property is the overhang on?
So the overhang is kind of this lighter brown shading that we did. This darker brown is the enclosed part of the building. We'll have a foundation and just be connected to the existing buildings.
And how much overhang are we talking? We're talking a few feet or many feet?
It's like a car park, isn't it?
Yeah, it's enough for, I think, probably 2 vehicle wide.
Too wide or too long?
So it's going to be 28 feet wide and 55 feet wide.
So 25 feet deep.
Yeah, 20, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be able to speak to the direction in which the roof pitches? I know we're just looking at a site plan, but the runoff from the roof is something that needs to be considered.
So, yep, we are planning on roof drains. Like I said, we want all the water to pitch to the Cape Cod berm, which will then go into the drain basin.
Just as a reminder, the site plan has been approved by the planning board, and all stormwater has been peer reviewed.
Looks pretty straightforward.
Would they consider the three projects that are going on in that same area? How they relate to each other? Seems like somebody should think about that. There's another one we have tonight, they're trying to put a trail in between that property and Willowbrook, and it doesn't go through your property, but it might be good to coordinate something with them.
I have a question about your narrative. The fourth paragraph said closest point to work to the resource area is 10 feet. Is that supposed to mean, it's supposed to be buffer zone? Because I'm looking at a real small print, so I can't tell.
So it's impervious surface that's already in the buffer zone
Right.
area. So it's already.
You're not expanding the parking lot, you're just taking it in and it's already there.
It's supposed to read buffer zone, not resource area, or it is supposed to be resource area.
So the closest, so the roof overhang corner, where it says 10 feet, that roof overhang corner is 10 feet to the wetland flag. So the actual
Okay.
wetland.
So it isn't even in the, it's 10 feet from the wetland flag. Okay, so that's
not
not an issue.
And how is the roof water handled at that corner?
So there will be roof drains, and they will be directed along the Cape Cod berm towards the existing drain basin.
And the other committee has looked into all that.
Yes.
And it's already impervious, so it's just gonna run down into the catchment.
Yep.
Simple,
So it's
downhill,
going to be
gravity.
treated regardless. Okay.
I'd like to, through you, Director Handy, was there any consideration of restricting the overhang from being boxed in and made more storage to the main building?
No. This was the site plan before us, and that's what we approved.
You haven't looked at that, I mean.
Well, the changes that were made were about the striping for a couple of the parking spaces. There was also some consideration made for the handicap parking.
So there's basically, there's nothing there that would stop them from boxing in the overhang as making it,
Well, it was peer reviewed by Merrill, and there was no recommendation to do that
or not do it.
or not do it.
What kind of foundation would be put underneath the structure? Like how deep would it go? Yeah, would it be a knee wall type of situation or?
I believe it'll be a slab foundation.
Okay.
As far as I know. I don't think there's any proposed basement.
With the
or
frost wall.
Under, yeah, with the frost wall.
There's not really much materials to be handled or dug, you can handle it on site there.
Yes.
The overhangs, if you're saying a slab foundation, no frost wall,
No
but
problem.
if you have an overhang, you have to have some structural support. And I'm not the building inspector, but I don't believe the building inspector would allow the support to be on nothing but a slab foundation wall, some sort of thing.
You'd have to have a frost wall
Correct.
if you're gonna put a building on it, but you could do that part of it as a post and beam, barn storage, I would think.
That's kind of
Columns.
our purview, I believe.
Yeah, most certainly is, but it's the amount of impact that's being rendered or amount of material that's being excavated out of the ground. Like if they were to remove the existing impervious and then excavate deeper down, then they'll run into water issues.
Right.
Well, because right now you're building over the asphalt that's already there, right? Is that parking spots you have there?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And are you planning on more parking there, or?
No.
No, okay.
So it's tarred under this overhang already?
Correct.
You're gonna leave it like that?
I believe so, yep.
Okay. Makes sense.
The building is not gonna be, they're not gonna, but I think I shouldn't speak for the building inspector, but he's not gonna allow the footing for support for a roof as heavy and as big as what you outlined to be sitting on some asphalt that was poured there before. That's just not gonna happen.
I think you'd have to put in footings, just like a pole barn.
It's gonna wash away.
No, footings, no wash away.
Yeah, 55. No, it's not.
When you say
They're just
overhang,
a-
is it an overhang or is it a supported overhang?
It'll be a supported overhang, right?
That's where
It's,
you're gonna
it's,
have to have some sort of footing.
yeah.
I would imagine, simple sonotubes.
Excuse me, Andrew, does building inspection check this out too?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
after
they're
us?
gonna have to pull up, they're gonna have to pull their permits and have all the inspections done through the building department.
I would imagine we could write something into the order of conditions, right, to just say minimize the impacts of the foundation or perhaps.
Well, that's what I got. I think we need to cover ourselves
Yeah.
with something, because
A
it's
silt sock.
quite evident that that's not gonna pass the.
Do you think it needs a silt sock around it, or is it?
It says there's a 12-inch diameter silt sock erosion control.
Around the
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much covered.
And what's the plan for like the water during the course of the construction with any,
Right.
with the water or anything like that, like the deep water, yeah? Like I understand when the gutters and everything go in and it's going to end up in the basin there before, but like during construction?
Shouldn't the erosion control take care of that?
Erosion control should take care of that. I'm also looking at elevation, so, the parking lot area is around elevation 17. The wetland area is around 11 and a half. So if they're only doing 4-foot frost walls, or footings, they actually may not run into the groundwater depending on when they decide to build. But the silt sock would also handle some of the dewatering that would be required if they did run into water.
I mean, the structure is going to be required either way to be engineered to withstand the elements that it's being placed on. Somebody's stamp is going to be at risk if if they design it
Right, if they do
improperly.
it. They would disclaimer for that.
I move we close.
I have one question before we finish. The recreation says this property is a single-family home and is not currently used for recreational purposes. You know what that is?
Is that on
Doesn't seem like it's
It's on the
something.
narrative.
It's for recreation.
That may be a typo, because it's not a single-family dwelling. It's
No, it's
definitely-
okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a commercial building, commercial use.
All right, so we want to change that for the final.
Okay.
I move we close.
I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye, what are we gonna do?
Thank you.
Aye.
I was waiting for him too, I'm like, makeup lady.
I move that we build them according to NOI with anything that was discussed,
And in order of conditions?
any order of conditions. And I would like especially notify the building inspector of our concern about the post not showing something.
Okay. So is that the motion?
As usual, or
Okay, second.
So the motion is to issue an order of conditions with instructions to the building inspector to take note of the footings.
And check on that one, it's paragraph there about the single family home.
Well, that's theirs.
It's a type, that's their
Typo.
information.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, take this.
Thank you.
First order of business.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we have about 8 minutes till our next hearing, so do we have, let's see, what do we want to?
We have to look at that.
The,
Yes, let's do that, please.
we've had some flooding at the rotary bogs, which is not recommended by, as far as I know, what's been passed down, that we're not supposed to flood those bogs because of the hazardous waste and the chemicals that get leaching into the classic water body, Big Sandy, right under the road. So, should try to limit that as much as possible.
Art, were you able to talk to the DPW about it?
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Okay, Gino, you did mention something about the screens being blocked.
It's flooded again.
Yeah, the muskrats are busy eating, and they're not gonna stop eating and making grass that's just gonna clog it all every day.
So we're gonna talk to DPW tomorrow.
I believe we need to address the cleaning of these apparatuses around. I mean, it's fine to put them all in, but if nobody keeps them clean, we're not gonna have a problem. So whoever's putting them in should be delegated the responsibility of cleaning them at a very close interval, because this
Yeah,
is
whenever necessary.
clog up in a matter of days.
Well, we
Just
did
whenever
have,
necessary.
we did mention at one of the meetings about having someone who's in charge of the water distribution around town, and that was like, we talked at some stage.
Bob talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like who's in charge of it, and if we were gonna appoint or have a position where someone was gonna take charge on that? Is
I
that
think-
something that we still want to?
That was me.
Yeah, but it's a public works issue.
Right, did
Right.
that go
Standards
upstairs
that they have
1:30
to
and they
do.
put it up to Public Works, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's,
It's what?
we rented up the flagpole already upstairs for us to be involved, and they put it up to the, public, the
DPW.
DPW, the water department.
So
I
they're
think the water
responsible.
department would have somebody, you think the water department would handle it? I mean, that's where I would think it would land.
And if they don't, is it our responsibility?
Well,
No.
Not at all?
I mean, I guess it's just one of those things to be mindful of, what the requirements, I mean, I'd be interested to know how often they are supposed to be cleaned out. I mean,
Right.
even from a personal
So
perspective,
we
I have a
don't
river
flood.
going through,
Well,
this one's
the-
not clear.
It was recently installed.
And it could be a role for the Herring Fisheries Commission. We don't know what their role in this is either.
well, it's a herring excluder is what it is
Yeah.
that's causing it, and it also stops the trash from going in the system too, so it's a good stopper, but it just
But all of
has
these
issues.
places are not necessarily under heron fisheries. The same type of thing exists where the heron don't exist.
Right.
So, I mean, whatever we do should be broad enough to take care of all of the town's needs.
Yeah, that's, you don't want to be flooding that bog, so
Maybe
you
we should
have
talk to the water
to
Well,
take
commissioner.
care of it.
it's not just that bog, it's other
Right.
bogs too. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, but
but that one
the water
particularly-
commissioner is concerned with our, water supply. This is really a public works issue because it has to do with infrastructure.
Yes,
Right.
And,
stormwater.
and the Conservation Commission doesn't have a staff or budgets or
yep,
people to direct to do that, but they do.
Right.
Now, we can make recommendations and we can run up the flagpole. I think that's always a good idea because we're concerned about those issues. But when it comes to actually having something done, they've got staff and budget to do it.
and moving on, a word to the wisdom of it worked. We had a win-win-win across the board for the beavers. They're gonna be managed, not hunted out to extinction. And I just can't say enough thanks for the wisdom of the upstairs to realize that they put in really good siltation ponds for nothing, free.
That was the work of Rick and,
You know?
Gino.
So, no, that was mostly Gino's, on the front line of that one. But, yeah, so that's good news.
Yeah, regulated the water for the beavers for a year.
Well, you've been paying attention to it for a while. It's been some years.
Just for FYI, did I understand that there has been some, trying to pick the correct words, you know, when you can throw, that there's something been done with beavers through the Board of Health also.
Yeah, it hasn't come up yet, but they got two experts to assess the area to determine whether the beavers should be exterminated, but that is off the board because the whole area
Right.
is ideal for them to flourish in, and it doesn't flood anybody's home. So from what I understand, they're gonna be putting a pipe in with a beaver guard, and the company that's gonna do it will be on a maintenance schedule, which they will keep it clean and make sure the beavers aren't getting in it. So there's that, and the beavers are gonna be fine.
And they're also gonna be cleaning up, Shepherd's is on the way out, you all know that. That's gonna be a lot more water, sewage, backup, the whole center's gonna have to be redesigned, and that's gonna certainly dump right into that wetland, so that secondary backup and filtration that they're supplying compared to the one the size that we built for like $100,000, it's a deal.
And all of those projects will be brought before the board before work is commenced. Is that correct?
Yeah, that,
Exactly.
Lisa said it'll come to us.
Hip hip hooray,
But they'll have
one for the
to
beavers.
file an NOI for it. Are they planning on filing an NOI or an RDA for it?
Yes.
It'll be an NOI, they're working in
So then it's definitely gonna come before you.
I can't do both.
Yeah.
We have
I think that's
to, we
fine.
don't have time to do that right now.
No. I think it's in-
What we do,
What?
what we do, Ron.
Nothing, we didn't do
Good.
anything wrong, I'm just looking at this map. I don't think 2
Give
minutes
us
is gonna
time.
cover it. Can we do it at the end?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
You can do that anytime.
Okay.
You've got time
perfect.
at the end.
Well, I would like to make a motion to put in a request with the DPW to provide us with a letter expressing their intent to clean the grates along the roadways and especially by the bogs on the rotary.
And can we get a letter from the chair for that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Second
want-
that.
Oh,
When we talk about grates, we're talking about the grates
Okay,
in the rivers, not the grates on the side of the road. Is that
Right, the
correct?
grates
So-
in the water flow.
so Art, you seconded, and Gina, okay, all in favor, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, I'm sorry, Bob. Okay, so it's, we're almost there.
You're there.
10 seconds. Okay, so it's about 7:30 PM. I'd like to open up the notice of intent for 21 Kenny Lane, DEP number SE 56-1105.
Brian Taylor from Stemmer.
Thanks, Brian. Would you mind doing that at the microphone for us? So that we, thanks for bringing this up, too.
So we're here on behalf of the applicant, Shane Picciotto, who has a single-family residence that he and his wife would like to add an addition to. The proposed addition is going to be 25.5 by 20, and it'll be added onto the rear of the existing single-family home at Kenny Lane, 21 Kenny Lane. There's also a small deck, a 7x4 deck off the rear of this addition. The project site is located on the northerly side of Kenny Lane and has a BBW located at the rear of the lot. We had Brick Monroe flag, wetland line, and we located the flags and showed them on the plan. The site generally slopes down from the street to the BBW. We currently have lawn areas, outbuildings, and a very defined tree and woodland line that buffers the BBW. All of the proposed work will take place within the existing disturbed area of the property. There is one 8-inch tall pine tree that's right near the end of the driveway that they'd like to remove because it's a danger tree for the house. But that's inside of the the limit of work area. There's also some planted ornamental trees that the applicant would like to remove and clean up some overhanging branches and brush so that it won't, hit the existing house and the proposed addition.
What did you say the pine tree was? I didn't hear you.
It's inside the work area within
It says 8-inch tall.
8-inch
Wide.
Oh, diameter, okay.
Everyone's, with all the windstorms we've been having, trees have been snapping off right left and center. We know some people's houses have been hit. So everybody is trying to be sensitive to that.
Too close to home, Bob.
The closest part of the proposed work is the proposed deck, and that's located 55 feet away from the BBW. There's also in the woodline, within the woods, there's a tree line that our work is going to be performed inside of the, outside of the tree line, in the yard area. Inside the tree line is also an existing fence, a post and rail fence. So there's plenty of limitation to make sure we don't get outside of our work area. In the limited work area, we'll have a stake silt sock along the entire work area. That'll be maintained throughout the project, and any disturbed soil areas will be stabilized, loamed, and seeded once the project is completed. It's a pretty straightforward application, single story, story and a half cape, story and a half addition.
Is there a plan to monitor the loan for 2 years?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a plan to monitor the loan for 2
We
years?
presumably as I did your standard order conditions, yeah, we'd make sure we do so.
You realize that we have a policy for every tree that comes down, we look for a deposit into our tree fund and replace them.
Well, okay.
Andrew can tell you, it's a minor thing, but that's the policy now, trying to make sure we replace trees. Sure.
This one
Or
is,
You can either do it on your property.
Place them yourself.
I'll put the money in the bank and we'll put it.
I know a guy who
needs to have some trees replanted. It's
perfect.
mine.
Only kidding. Yeah, that would be fine. This tree is located, as you can see, the house is here, the addition is in red, and the existing driveway is L-shaped here, and the tree is like 3 feet off the driveway. And between that and the chicken coop. That's why they want to take care of them before killing the chickens.
I feel that.
So we'd be happy to replicate or plant another tree, or whatever the policy is for the donation.
So I do have one concern, so, it's just the one concern. So you would be building, let me see, I wrote it down. Let's see, 510 square feet of addition on pre-disturbed area. So it's, it is what it is. It's pre-existing lawn and impervious surface where this addition would go. The deck, I'm presuming, would be on sonotube, so it's minimally invasive, I'm presuming. What I'm worried about is encroachment. So when this addition goes in, what is going to stop a landscaper or somebody from pushing that buffer zone back to make more pre-established lawn area? And would the homeowner be open to perhaps putting some markers along the 50-foot buffer zone so that that area does not get encroached upon?
Okay. Well, one of the things that we do have is the existing tree line. They're not proposing to remove trees within that existing tree line. That's where we put the silt sock right along the existing tree line.
Yeah.
So that defines the
Then it comes out, there's
But then
nothing
once
left.
it's-
Yeah, so one
This
that's
is a long-term
Yep.
thing where either a post goes in, it's a 4x4 and has a plaque on it,
Sure, we
or
have those, yep,
rocks have been used.
Yep.
Those basically we've done before.
yep, we have the PT posts. We
Yeah.
set
Yeah.
3 feet in the ground, a
Yeah,
foot
exactly.
or so out, and we'll put a disc on the conservation disc on top. Yeah, we'd be happy to put a couple of those.
Or
And
if
probably-
that's a fence, is that a fence there?
there's actually, if you see at the back of the coop, there's a fence that comes across, and then it goes into a post and rail fence. That
Yeah.
it
The
goes through-
PRF,
kinda
right?
go-
That goes
that's a
all the way down
PRF.
to the back, right?
That goes through the woods and goes out to the back to the shed.
Okay.
So that really limits the amount of work.
So at least with that, that does help a lot. I
Yeah.
can't believe I didn't even see that. So the other thing, I guess then with that being said, I would want to see at least one conservation marker in the side yard outside of the fenced area, simply due to the fact that once that addition's there, more things will want to be added. It's just kind of the nature of the thing.
Maybe we could do one with it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true too.
Maybe we could put one on the existing.
Put one on the fence.
Yeah, the post and rail fence,
Yeah.
sit right where the line cross,
Yeah.
and then we could put another one at the corner.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
It's pretty much, it's not too much out of a straight line.
Yeah.
At the corner where the work is, and then heads back, with these corners. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
And are they doing a full foundation or are they doing a partial?
We have the full architectural, just, let me check that.
Yeah. I know, kind of, it's like one of those things where you get approved for this and then architectural.
4'4".
4 foot high?
4 foot deep,
Okay, so
yeah,
that's.
cross foundation,
Crawl
cross foundation,
space,
basically.
crawl space.
Cross wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Cross
The
wall.
footing might end up, the footing might be a little beneath 4 feet.
Would you like to come up and introduce, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'm the contractor, so I'm just
Okay.
kind of,
Your name,
familiar.
sorry, your name?
Robert Clarkson.
Robert Clarkston, contractor
Yep.
for the property owner, okay,
Yep.
sorry. Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a crawl space, so the foundation itself will be a little, will be about 4 feet below grade.
Okay, what kind of material are they putting underneath the crawl space? Is there gonna be insulation, is there gonna be a vapor barrier, or what? kind of
Yeah,
stuff
we're
are you
gonna
doing?
do a
So it'd be a vapor barrier.
yeah, it'd be a
slab
vapor
brick.
barrier,
Everything is all
gravel
very
and a
typical.
slab.
Okay, okay, sounds good. All right.
And the architectural plans, sheet A7 is one of the sheets that shows the cross sections. We have
Okay.
15 sheets of very detailed architecture.
Rightfully so.
By Rockwell Design.
Thank you very much. All right. Well,
Are you pouring the floor too, did you say?
Yeah,
The
there's
floor,
also a
okay,
3-inch
yeah.
slab in the crawl space, which you always, then you can use it for storage. And that's on top of 6 inches of compact.
With 4 foot concrete.
Yeah, 4-foot frostwall pour on 12-inch footing.
well, I would like to make a motion to approve the order of conditions for this
You have
notice.
to close the public, you have to close the public
I'm sorry.
hearing first.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to close the, oh, Bob would move to close.
Chair can make the motion.
Okay,
Second,
Who's making the motion to close the public hearing, please? All right, Bob.
and I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so move to close the public hearing for the notice of intent of 21 Kenny Lane, DEP number SE 56-1105, and I would like to move
So
to,
I'd like to move that we build according to the NOI with any conditions that we added at the meeting here tonight.
I would second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks,
Aye.
Bob, sorry.
Thank you all very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
Have a
you.
great one.
Let's see, so we're moving on to. Oh, yeah, it was 7 minutes. All right, well, I would like to, do we want to do the minutes, or do we want to reopen the reorganization of the commission for vice?
I motion to accept the minutes for March 7th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now we have 6 minutes.
Also, Vice President and
Vice President.
Vice Chair.
Vice Chair.
I would vote for you for Vice President.
Probably a better option.
I nominate Gino, if you will accept it.
Make nomination.
You have to open the nominations
Open up the
first.
Open nomination.
I would like to open the nominations for officers of the Conservation Commission,
Vice Chair.
for the vice chair position specifically. All right, so
Nominate
nomination,
Gino if the,
I'll do it.
Somebody
You need a
else.
second,
I need a second.
second,
Second.
and now you need the vote to open.
I would like to vote. All right,
Didn't you just do that?
yeah, I thought I did.
aye,
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, aye. Thank
Okay,
you.
now the nominations are open.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
I would nominate Gino if you would accept.
No, I see if you don't want to.
If somebody else wants it, if not, I'll take it.
I recommend
I'm sure
Eric.
Nicole will be here every.
We got a second?
I'll second
No,
Gino.
you're accepting nominations.
Yeah.
Any other nominations
I
for the vice
nominated
chair?
Eric.
Okay, you have 2 nominations for vice chair. Now, if that's all the folks you want to nominate, now you need to close the nominations.
I would like to vote to close the nominations for the vice chair of the Pembroke Conservation Commission.
You need a second and a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, now you've got the 2 nominees before you.
You only have one.
Art as well. Art is the second.
Can I ask them if they would serve if so elected?
Yes.
I asked them if they would serve, if they have to deal with me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Was
I would be willing
that a
to-
yes?
Seriously.
It's all you know. It's all you.
We vote.
Me?
Oh,
Yes,
We have one vote for Gino.
Aye.
All in favor?
I vote for Gino.
Gino?
Gina.
Gino?
aye.
All right, Gino is the
Vice
vice
chair.
chair of the Conservation Commission. Congratulations, Gino. Okay, what time
That was
is it?
easier than the
We
first
have
one.
3 minutes left.
I'm riding shotgun.
It's by
We
far
have,
the
uh,
most awkward.
Is there another office we have to fill?
Well, what are the other offices? Is there a clerk? Do you have a clerk?
Treasurer.
You are the clerk.
There's no treasurer.
There's nothing else. No, it's just
No
members.
That's it.
There's the Andy. We have to vote for Andy as Andy.
Yeah.
That comes out of the-
That comes out of the town.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not
you don't
advertised.
have any other, because you don't have someone with signing authority, single signing authority. You need a majority of the board for any documents you
Yeah, we don't
sign.
have that. Okay. Do we want to, we have 3 minutes left. Do we want to try and open up for any sort of public comment that is not with regards to hearings for 3 minutes? Does anybody have 3 minutes of stuff they want to share?
I'd like to thank the people that, some are here, some are not, that helped us with information and whatnot for our recent project. It was a very large project, and we managed to take care of things the way they should be. So I appreciate the help that I got from everyone at the time.
Heartfelt. That was, it's a community coming together.
Yes.
Not patting him, but I appreciate all that you all have done to keep the board going. I wish we could do a whole lot more, but there's only so much you can do with so much time with a volunteer board. And again, I'd like to thank Andy. He's been
Yes, well done.
Great job.
Keeping us together.
Keeping the flow moving.
Okay, are we done kumbaya?
No, I want to say one more thing. I want to thank Art for being the chair of the Conservation Commission during probably one of the more tumultuous times of being a chair for the Conservation
It's so
Commission.
much more fun, honestly.
Made it through.
Yeah, and I was saying
Being the chair.
the other day how I get to relive the meetings when I do minutes. So I have to watch the whole thing again. And when you get to watch it a second time, you realize you see a lot of things that go on that you didn't, when you're in the moment, you don't see. So I think the board did a very good job of presiding over that issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We tried.
Yes.
I'd like to tell a little story though about Art's tree.
You have
I don't know
45
if
seconds.
everybody knows about Art's tree, but up at the middle school lawn, there's a tree planted there that Art supervised the first time it was done through the school or something. What was it?
Yeah, the select board was involved with it too.
Yeah, we planted a tree there and in the middle of nowhere on the lawn, but it was there. And we got into a dry spell. And the tree died. Oh, we thought it died. All the leaves dropped off of it.
It went dormant.
It went dormant. We said something, I started running up there every day with water for this stick that was in the ground.
Giving it CPR.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the damn tree leafed the second time that year. I've never seen a tree leaf twice in a year, but that tree re-leafed and is still going strong up there on the lawn. And it's all because of that. Yeah.
The magic water.
All right.
Not the tree.
I love that. That's so cool. So it's about 7:45. I'd like to open the hearing for a request for determination of applicability at 90 Canoe Club, or not 90, I'm sorry, 40 Canoe
40.
Club Lane. 40 Canoe Club Lane.
There is no 90.
And there is no DAP number for this one, obviously. So, come on up.
90.
It's actually 40.
It's 40.
Yeah, it's 40.
I
don't know why it says
Mine says 90.
I made
It's a
a note
typo.
and I still said it.
And we were just saying how good you were.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Would you like to state your name and your role in this filing?
So my name is Jessica Clement and I'm the homeowner.
Okay,
We just purchased the house in January.
congratulations.
Thanks.
Welcome. welcome.
So you're gonna have to walk me through this because I've never done this before. So,
All right, no problem. So I guess essentially what we're looking at is what we're looking at. What is the purpose of your proposed project?
so we have to bring some type of like excavation crew in to level out the backyard because we have this pretty significant drop off in our backyard. And I have little kids, and the entire backyard, I can show you guys pictures too, is full of briar bushes and poison sumac and poison ivy. And we have to eradicate that from the backyard. So the construction crews that we've had come in say that that needs to be leveled. And then a portion of it, just way back, there's a line, you guys will see it on the pictures. That portion is considered wetlands. So it's not in the whole project, it's just like a little tiny piece in the back. So that's why I'm here.
So this is, when you're going into Canoe Club, this is up on the right-hand side, right? The water is down further in the back?
Yeah, so I have access to the water in the back of my yard, but it's not even close to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the drop-off, does that go down
Yeah.
towards the river, towards the water?
Yeah, this might actually,
Because I don't see it.
so if you look at that one, and then I actually have the big plans too.
Oh, there's the water,
See
right?
the water, how
Yeah.
it's, my property actually extends way down to the water, but we're not even close to being, touching the water. So I think we're like great.
Those look like hickory trees.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a standard
So this is my
hickory
property right here.
right there.
This
yeah,
is where
this
we would be
is
touching.
way off
Yeah.
of that. It's a very
The
deep lot.
water's all
Oh,
down
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
even
They
close.
more than
Yeah,
they
we're-
just.
Yeah, they have
you.
used to,
Thank you. I have
they straight down, but about 5 feet tall.
You have a picture of that
You don't want to
whited
get
out
too close,
area.
but 5
It's in the
feet's fine.
backyard.
Right there,
It's,
right
It's actually coming
way
down.
away
So
from the
it's
water.
probably a better
the lots are very
image.
deep.
So we don't
So-
have to worry
so-
about them.
No.
So for the leveling, what are they proposing for retaining what is leveled? Because if it's steep, then they have to have something to hold the material they're bringing in?
So what happened was when they built the house, they dug out the basement and then they just kind of threw a portion of the basement in the middle of the backyard. So it drops off about 8 feet on each side. So what they're gonna do, and that's not in the wetlands, it's not even close to the wetlands. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna pull
That's
that,
higher than that,
bring it
so
down,
that'll
level
be
it so my kids
good.
can't
They'll
fall
just
off
So they're just gonna
that.
taper it down?
They're gonna taper it down and
Okay.
level it.
Okay, so that's.
All these rocks,
Okay, gotcha.
They're gonna try to bury those rocks so that they're not jagged, so the kids aren't falling on top of the
you're
rocks.
not gonna use them to make a wall with?
No.
To hold it when you cease?
No, we wanna flatten it, because we don't want any more hazards in the backyard.
But usually if it's a hill and you try to flatten it, you're gonna have a drop off on.
It's not a hill though, it's
Just like a hollow
just,
kind of?
literally they got, like, it's just kind of an extension of
Like-
dirt that just shoots out, and then both sides are level.
So it's a mound.
It's a mound of dirt
Okay,
that
see,
they
it doesn't look
left.
like a mound here
It
at all, in
doesn't.
the pictures at all.
No.
You're going sideways.
No,
You're going sideways where you can see the mound.
yeah, if you looked sideways at it, it's a huge mound that drops off about 8 feet on each side.
So,
I think it'll be a big improvement.
oh, absolutely. The nice hickory trees, nice row of them. You wanna make
Yeah,
sure
we're
you
not
don't-
getting rid of any trees besides one that is dead, that we just, the construction guy has to take that down because we don't want it to fall on the kids, but the problem is that the wetlands, as you can see right here, this is all invasive poison ivy here.
Yeah.
That has to be, I have to get that out of there. But this is all just,
And learn about jewelweed too.
what is it?
It stops poison ivy from getting you. Jewelweed. Probably grows all over the place in your yard.
Well, this is, you should see the poison ivy. It's up the trees. It's actually killing the trees in the
Yeah, it
backyard.
will. It does feed off the trees.
Cut an inch out of it.
Well, I'm very allergic, so I can't even go near it.
Jewelweed again.
So that's why we were hiring someone to come in and do this for us.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do it the right way.
Could we see what their plan is before we do it?
Can they, yes,
I mean-
I'm assuming they will know what to give you.
You're hiring a construction company.
Yeah, they're literally just leveling it and making that
With
flat.
machinery, not by hand.
No, they can't. They can't do that by hand.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so it's
Yeah.
machinery.
Will they
Yeah.
take
If
the
you
rocks
say you
out?
bring in a crew, it sounds like you bring in a bunch of people, you know?
Yeah.
If you got some ferocious goats, for a month, they'd eat it right down to nothing to
Yeah,
start with.
we tried that, but it was like $6,000 to bring goats in.
Yeah, they're not cheap. They're not cheap.
And I didn't know if I wanted goats just chilling in the
Nope.
backyard
You
for,
don't?
Well, that's what they do. They kind
Yeah.
of change the alkaloid
So.
and make it so that nothing else grows there for a little bit.
but we have to, I think the reason why we have to bring a crew in is because we have to get rid of that mound from the basement dirt that's in there. Because I just don't want my kid falling off of that
When you say crew, you mean equipment.
equipment.
When you say
And then a
crew, that
crew
infers
driving
like a
the
bunch of
equipment.
people, you know?
Yeah.
Fixing shovels, so.
No. Construction team.
Gotcha.
I have one complaint. You didn't include spice bush
I
in your
didn't.
native plants.
I did do some pretty thorough research
did,
here. You
but
should have seen me
You only
Googling
missed one.
this.
You only missed the spice bush.
Yeah, I did like
And-
all
and
swamp
actually-
plants.
And,
We're gonna try to make it as natural as possible.
And
We
it's-
wanna preserve as
Witch
much
hazel would be a nice one too.
as possible.
and sweet pepper.
Sweet pepper.
That's a soap bush.
I'll take note of that.
And it comes in pink. They have a pink hybrid today, which is really nice, yeah. And they smell like in your yard like perfume. They're beautiful.
Yeah, definitely gonna be doing some planting this summer since we're new there.
And they bloom in February. Nice little chartreuse bloom in
Yeah.
the middle of the winter.
But as you can see, the backyard
Oh,
is
no,
pretty
it's a
atrocious
complete
right now,
rabbit. It's a
so.
rabbit heaven. Rabbits love that.
Yeah,
Nicole, I think, looking and hearing, this is the kind of a project of, what do I say? It's a do-as-you-go project to get what you want there. It's gonna be hard to put it all on paper and drawn out for elevations. I think it's gonna take a little bit of close work between the board
Just common
and the
sense
people to
too.
get what they want without going through tons of paperwork trying to make it look like what isn't gonna happen, because once you start pulling these things apart, visions change quickly. So they need some latitude to
You're gonna have
work
a
it
big
while
pile
they're
of
working.
rocks.
Would it be
Because
advisable to have
to-
wetlands flagged, though, just so that they know where to avoid?
we
and-
already have it flagged.
You do
I
have it
have the
flagged?
stakes already there, so that's all done. I can actually see the
I
stakes.
think one of your biggest problems is gonna be,
Yeah, you
what do you do with the
need an
rocks when you're trying to get because you gotta get the rocks out of there to get the stuff out of there. Then you can do what you want with them. You can put them back and do what you
Wait,
want,
what?
but
Right.
you gotta be moving a lot of rocks.
Yeah,
You
Well,
have
so
a
for
pile
the
of rocks.
artifacts might find some up there.
that would be thrilling if they would help pay for the
Yeah.
project.
No, I know, it's a lot.
Because all the roots go right under the rocks.
Yeah.
So you
Are
gotta
you
move the
going,
rocks.
you're not gonna level it, you're just going with the contour of what's there
It's already
already.
flat.
It's gonna be,
So the area right there is flat. We just have to level the mound, but the mound is way outside the wetlands anyway. So we're actually not touching the wetlands besides removing the prior bushes and stuff, as you can see right here.
What are you gonna
And
do
you-
if the mound has a bunch of stumps in it? Just theoretically.
Why? At this point, I don't really know. I'm hoping they don't.
I got you, well,
Yeah.
that's just what I'm saying, you know?
are you doing this yourself?
No,
No,
our-
no, you
got
the
a
construction, it's Hillsdale
You have-
Construction.
I mean, the plantings and where you're gonna, what you're gonna plant and where you're gonna
Yeah,
plant
I'm
it.
gonna do that all myself.
Do you know,
Good for you.
Yeah.
are they
I'm doing
gonna
a lot
be
of
using,
research on it, so.
are they gonna be using machinery to remove all of the vegetation?
And
Yes,
rocks.
they have to, yeah.
No.
They're gonna be pushing the rocks over to this side right here. That's the rock garden, because we wanted to keep it natural looking.
I'm really familiar with the property.
Yeah, okay.
Before you
Do I
start,
understand correctly, none of the work is being done in
Right,
No, it's,
a resource area?
right, exactly.
Okay.
No.
So that makes it so we can do an RDA.
yeah.
I mean, you could say with this piece of, anything's an improvement you do, so,
From how bad it is now, yeah.
yeah, you know?
And it just keeps growing
Oh,
up.
yeah.
As even in the few months that we've been there, like the prior bushes and the poison ivy is growing up into our lawn,
Oh, yeah,
so.
they do that.
Before you start, you think you could, give us a plan of what you're gonna do and what you're planting?
Of like the plants that you want,
Well, yeah.
if you don't mind,
How-
there's
how
some
you're
basic
gonna-
ones.
How you gonna arrange it?
so the plants are all gonna just be on right here, on this side.
Would you be able to have your
Fit.
landscaper provide us with a plant list, though? Is that okay?
Yes, the
Okay.
plant list is gonna be from that plant list that I
Perfect.
gave you guys.
Okay,
So
awesome,
those are the plants that I really wanted to put there.
That whiteout area is
Okay.
gonna be, you're gonna plant grass in there? Or
No,
is it
no,
gonna
no,
be
this
the,
is-
that's gonna be the garden?
This is gonna be the garden. It's
Oh.
gonna be like a really natural looking like
Yeah, I
rock
thought you just said
garden.
you were just
Yeah,
going
but he's saying
across
this, the
top.
whiteout area that's right
Yes,
here.
that is going to be where the grass is,
That's
so my
That's-
kids can have somewhere to
that's grass.
play.
Yeah.
That's not, oh, okay, so I thought that was gonna be
No,
all
I'm
the-
sorry, so this is gonna be
Plants.
grass. And see
Oh,
how
that
this
small
cuts
area.
into the wetland area?
Yeah.
That is gonna be the rock garden and
I
all
just,
the
Oh, okay.
flower
Which hazel
things,
displacement.
swamp plants.
That's all it is there.
Nicole, just so it doesn't get lost, it's kind of
Yeah.
out of order, but I believe we want to talk with the contractor that is going to do the work before anything is done, so he understands the,
Exactly.
no, he probably does, but we want to make sure he
This is just
understands the
grass.
sensitivity of this area and the possible
And the true lot
problems.
lines and all
He
that.
does, yeah, I've talked to him, he knows, he's talking about the barriers, he knew all the terminology of like the lawn barriers and everything, so he's very familiar with that.
So there could be a pre-construction meeting that is required under the -3
Okay.
determination
Okay.
and the issuance of the determination of applicability, so we can ask for that.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to, sorry, what? Oh, does anybody have a motion
Yeah.
that they want to make?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second. On discussion, right?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob.
Well, okay, I move, this is an RDA, is that correct?
Correct.
I move that we build in accordance with the RDA as presented and all of the information presented at the meeting and the requests to meet with the people who are going to do the work before the work is begun.
Yeah.
And in between, so we can get a feel for it. Well, we would like to be working with them, not against them.
Right, so now I have to have so you guys have to understand, I'm now paying my contractor to come in here, so is there a way that he
No,
can
you
just
won't have to come
write
in-
this?
You won't have to come in here.
Okay, because that's a lot to ask.
We will go to the site as he's beginning the job
Okay,
and talk to him about it
okay,
and look at it.
that's awesome.
And you're issuing what? It's your determination? -3 determination.
Yeah, which is good. That's good.
Negative,
And-
negative is-
That's
Tell me what.
It's like
Also,
COVID
well,
times.
I'm
It's
not
negative.
done,
Hold on, not
Yeah.
yet.
I'm not done
We
yet.
will work with your
Someone was looking for a conceptual plan of the plantings
Yeah.
before they're
Supposed to
done.
read that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'd like to make
Well,
sure
that's something you could provide on paper.
So
But
I'll
don't-
provide
do you
that.
have that
After
now,
we
though? Don't
issue
you
it.
have that as
It's-
part of
Yeah,
the
we got
submission?
most of it here.
Yeah, it's the plants that I'm actually
You
gonna
have
be
the list
using.
of plans?
Finished, and you
Now.
have to read.
She's doing it herself, not a landscape.
Closing in a while.
No, I really wanted to do it myself, because yeah,
That's good. Hands
So we're gonna
on.
have to reopen
Yeah.
it and then
it's my property, so I
Nice to
figured I'll do it
plant things,
myself.
you know?
Okay.
Something I can do.
Hopefully you do.
And you plant things in their benchmark in time.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
motion has to be seconded.
All right, so Bob, you motioned to issue a -3 determination with the conditions set forth before us today. The contingent also upon us having a site visit with your contractor on site, so he's not coming here.
Before the work starts.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, please note that any person aggrieved by this decision has the right to appeal within 10 business days. Please contact our office or DEP if you need assistance with the negative determination you just received.
Okay, so negative is good.
Negative's
Yes.
good.
All right,
Yes,
and I can
yes.
start this project and I have you guys come out. How do I do that?
So before they start work, you would coordinate with Andy so that we can do a site visit.
10
With your
days have to
contractor.
go
But you're gonna
by.
have the agent or the administrative agent do the site visit.
10 days
We'll do
have
it.
to go by.
So I have to
We're
reopen
supposed
both
to
of them?
satisfy the public need to, in case they want to object.
We were supposed
So the 10-day period is over after we advertise it, what, 10 days, right?
And I'm also gonna file a determination of applicability with Mass DEP on your behalf, and I'll send you a letter stating so.
Okay, so in 10 days, I contact you to set up a site visit?
Yep.
Got it.
Awesome, awesome.
All right, am I free?
You are.
Okay. Can I take
Yes.
with me? Thank you so much.
These materials as well.
Oh, yeah, probably.
You're right on time, Nicole.
Thank
Push
you.
some wood, Hazel.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
so,
Oh, yeah, we already did that.
so we're moving on to the next meeting is 8, wait, what time is it? Yeah,
8
okay,
o'clock.
8 o'clock. We're moving on to the next hearing, request for determination of applicability at 99 Barker Street, Willowbrook Farm Preserve. No DEP number. That's why with their baby. Hello.
Do you have information on this in front of you?
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Somewhere there.
There she is. Beautiful.
There we go, little book right here.
Look at that.
I'm Owen Gray. I'm the Stewardship Operations Manager at Wildlands Trust. I'm here to talk about Willowbrook Farm. Probably all know, down the street on Barker Street.
Yep.
Is it for sale?
Yep.
I want it.
Well, we're putting a plan together for a bunch of improvements there. What I'm here for is we talk about these boardwalks that we have. If any of you have been out on the trails recently, they're turning into death traps. And what's happening is people are, I think, opting to travel through the wetlands instead of use our boardwalks because they're so dangerous.
Yep.
So we're currently fundraising to rebuild these boardwalks, and see 1,200 feet total that we need to replace. Not cheap, but we're gonna make it work.
There you go.
So one of these sections, 440-foot section, replaced with 410 feet of bogboard, which is less intrusive than boardwalk. Everything we cut will be done in Plymouth and carried in, so we won't be doing any cutting in the wetland, and we'll be using the working backwards on the boardwalks. So we're not standing in the mud, disrupting vegetation.
I mean, working forward. So you walk down the walkway as you go in, right? You know one.
You guys ought to be pros at this.
I built quite a few of these.
I move we close.
I have a question about, so what are the bog boards made of?
Yeah, that's
In wood.
Like the new ones that you're proposing to put in, because the old one, because I have been in there, I go in there quite often, and they're so slippery, the ones that are in there, the boardwalks. What do you propose, the bog boards, what are they made of?
That's just pressure treated lumber.
It's just pressure, and so what about the stuff that was already put down there before?
That was also pressure treated lumber.
Okay.
So the section that's actually shown is probably what you're.
Well, there's two different kinds, so I've been on both of them. This one, they just seem like they're 2x2 on top of the stringers. And then this one, which is also the boardwalk.
Yeah, that's the tower boardwalk.
Yeah.
And
So what is the bog board?
the bog board is different than the boardwalk.
Okay.
And it's pressure treated 2x8s just set on top of.
boards you're walking on them.
They got sleepers, they just sit
Yeah.
flat or.
They sit on 4x4s.
On the stringer, is it? Is that what they call them, what it's sitting on top of?
Yeah.
So in this, it said 75% of the support stringers have already rotted out?
On the boardwalks,
Yes.
yes.
So what are you proposing so that they don't rot out?
So the way that these boardwalks were built 20 years ago
Yeah.
was the stringers are just set on the ground.
Yeah.
And you'll see in our drawing, we, it's the next one. Our new boardwalks, we put on 4x4 posts, and the stringers sit on the sides of the posts, so they're not resting
So they're
on the ground.
elevated, they're basically on little
Okay.
footings.
Yes, yes.
How deep?
We don't dig them into the ground.
Oh, they just sit?
They just,
Okay.
we attach it all to
got
itself, and it just holds itself there.
I don't know if you heard the project we had, the first one there is right next to Willowbrook property, and they're also putting the fire station and public safety building in there too, so is there, I know I heard some talk about them putting an access road, or access paths from that area. Is that something you know about?
We've talked about, I was at the open space committee meeting on Tuesday, talking about Misty Meadows,
Yeah.
spots for Willowbrook. I think we're gonna explore options for how we can improve the trails.
So that'll be separate from this.
Do a really nice raised one right through the swamp.
Talk about expensive.
Be really nice, though.
I'd like to ask a question. You're talking about pressure treated. Have you ever used southern white pine?
Not, we've looked into black locust.
Yeah, yeah.
What we run into is anything that's not pressure treated.
Black locust is one of
And
your
why I'm
best.
saying southern yellow pine is, that was what was used as bleacher boards for one of the sports events here years ago. And when the bleachers were changed to aluminum, the boards became available. I've dealt with a lot of them. I can throw them on the ground, and 5 years later, you pick them up, and they're just as tight
Yeah.
as
it's
they ever were.
solid
They
resin.
outlast pressure treated
Yeah,
by a whole lot.
yeah, it's
But-
resin.
Yeah, it's the yellow southern pine.
Yeah, it's full of resin.
Harder than the hammers of, but,
The pressure treated that we'll be using is treated southern white pine. But it's just, when it's sitting in a swamp,
yeah,
it helps.
well, yeah, that's what, I've dealt with them, this southern white pine the old bleacher boards.
Well, I tell
In
you,
the
having,
water, and you
having the
can't,
airport,
They were hard as oak.
having the
They don't-
airport
You
under
can't
it
get
is a
those
smart
anymore,
idea.
not readily.
But black locust lasts, oh my God, 350 years if you burn the end on it and put it in the ground, 350 years. It's crazy.
It's the dream. It's
It
like-
is. That's why they brought it here, you know?
I move that, we close the hearing.
and move it close.
Second.
All in
So
favor?
three of us,
Aye.
okay,
Okay.
I'm out.
Sorry.
Aye.
Debauchery.
I move this, what do we got, an RDA?
Yep.
I move that we go ahead with the RDA with anything that might be said here. We're dealing with a very reputable group of people that we know are gonna do a good job. And all we ask is if you run into a problem, give Andy a call so we know it ahead of time and can look pretty intelligent when somebody else calls and says, this is happening down there.
We might be able to get you some volunteers soon.
So the motion is to issue a
Get some volunteers soon.
negative free determination.
Yeah, that'd be great. We're gonna need everybody.
You are looking for volunteers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
who did they contact, or?
We have a volunteer manager.
Okay.
I think she's already planning how to get the word out to town.
Okay.
Do you want to give us a phone number here on the record so that we
Someone can reach out to you?
you need her
Might be
permission?
murdering me tomorrow.
Try to get in touch with them. Who seconded the motion?
Second. Gina.
Well, it was,
Okay. The motion was made by Bob, seconded
all
by,
right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for all of your effort.
thank you. So you've got about 5 minutes, so let's get some things signed. We have the opportunity.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting there, I get out of there.
I want to bring up that,
No, you needed to.
It's like, it's never the same.
excuse me, can I bring up the park again, as far as the loom seeding and hay? It needs loom, it's gravel, sand, it has to be loomed, it's washing into the brook by the culvert,
Where are you talking about?
The Herring
park.
Park.
Herring.
Herring Run Park.
Herring Run.
And when they have the
Can
people
you
showing up,
notify DPW,
Yeah,
please?
it should
send
be,
me an email
Okay,
to remind me,
because the people will be walking all
and
through it.
then I can forward that directly to them,
okay.
When the people show up,
with exactly what you're looking for.
it'll
Okay.
be
Okay?
Nicole, that's, oh, well, I'm the vice chair, I guess I can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
That works.
Please do. What was his name? Owen Gray. Grey. From Wildlands Trust. I can use that if you want to.
No, it's okay, I got
Okay, thank you.
This is for the
Yeah, but we
people.
just, we have his contact info on there, so if we need to look up him.
Oh,
All right, Gina, I took a picture.
Give you small spots on the NOIs, the LOC, but then
Well,
you
that's
get
what I'm wondering, do I have to reopen the two notices? Restate this.
that was an idea.
Yeah, you do,
That's yours, Andy?
you see,
Put it right there. So whatever you
Okay, so should we work forward, front to back?
any direction you want.
Did, we vote on the -3 and all that crap?
Doesn't matter which way, I mean.
I mean, we motioned to close. Andy said that we needed to make a -3.
Yeah, we did.
Bob, did you motion to make a -3 determination on the?
He did.
Okay, all right, I just, make sure.
And then you can read that.
All right.
Got that.
So actually over here may be better, because that way, if anyone in the audience wants to take a look, they can see, and truly for the benefit of
That was all
commissioners.
taken care of before, although it's something we're
Yeah.
not looking at.
Yeah, but I was
If
just
you pull over,
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
Is it really? That's what, yeah, I was kind of interested to know.
What's that? Let's take a look at everything here.
Is that yours?
No, might be yours.
Is that yours?
no, it's not. Just yours. Have it on there, maybe one with the paper.
Oh, probably got picked up with the paperwork.
Is that your writing? That's nobody's writing.
Oh, there they are. All right, so it is 8:15. Where's Andy's there. I would like to open the hearing for a notice of intent, weather vane at Pembroke Country Club LLC, DEP number SE-56-1106. can you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely.
Thank
Good
you.
evening. My name is Jeff Macchio, and I represent Weathervane at Pembroke Country Club LLC. With us, Jim Bristol, who's the principal, is there in the front row next to Taylor Corsano from Crocker Design Group. We are here on the heels of receiving the age qualified cluster development permit back in February, mid-February, so that went through the process. Everything is recorded there with conditions, and that was all peer reviewed, et cetera. You folks had a ORAD that was from, I believe, the fall of 2021, and Taylor's going to go through some of those details, go through the plans as well. If you can't see anything, you need anything closer, please tell her just the scale, because it's about 244 acres. The scale makes things a little different, but it winds up being ultimately 170 new units, so again, 55 and over, and they were able to retain the 18-hole golf course, so she can go through, yeah.
I also have about 40 pounds of plans here available if you'd like to take a look at any of the detail.
Is that?
That's gonna be an 18
Yeah.
hole still when you're done?
Yeah, so that's the big feature, is that to be able to retain it, she can go through what some of the changes are, but we're also going to retain the building with the pro shop and all of the functionality, the function space, et cetera. So when you look at it, they were just able to achieve so many things, and the pluses, just to recap real quickly for the town, because it's age qualified, the revenues compared to if it was something that was just developed, normally, not age restricted, the revenue advantages to the town are tremendous. And then the silver lining of retaining the 18-hole golf course just wound up being a huge plus as we went through the process. With that, I'll let Taylor start to go through. If there's any questions, again, even while she's presenting, by all means.
I do have just one quick one. Age qualified, you said, as opposed to age restricted?
It's basically the same, just town to town is, what it's called age qualified as part of the bylaw in town, but that's 55 and over. And then the Bristol family, they've got experience with this. If you've ever gone into the Weathervane project, which is in Weymouth, that's got a clubhouse, restaurant, function facilities, and that's got a golf course as well. So this is something that they've got a lot of experience with. It's tremendously successful in Weymouth. We've just recently permitted one in Walpole, and it's the same type of format. For cities and towns, just the baby boomers coming up, the aging cohort, it's really striking just what is happening and the ability to keep residents or to be able to have just the age qualified housing, be able to keep people in place in the towns where they often had raised their families. It just has tremendous benefits. So we're seeing a lot of this, not just in Pembroke, other surrounding communities. So it's something that for the next X number of years, there's going to be a tremendous demand, and it's growing. So we can explain that if you've got any questions as well. But with that, if I can I'll bring Taylor up and she can start to go through. And again, any questions she can answer midstream if you'd like as well.
I have one question.
Yes,
about when you're talking about the age, who is regulating the age requirement in the future? In other words, is it the town that's going to be responsible to make sure these units stay 55, or is there some internal written in there?
A little bit, actually a little bit of both. There's monitoring, but also everything, it's all deed restricted as well. So what'll happen, when we put all of this together, there are requirements that everything from the master deed down has restrictions in it, so that, if something sells, there's gonna be a closing, those people are gonna have to show that they meet the minimum age. And again, it's currently 55. In other communities, there are different types of housing models where the base might be 62, for example. So different towns handle it in different ways. We are seeing a lot of the 55. We're also finding that the 55s fit really well with the golf component, with the restaurant. It's just, it winds up being something, live, play, where you can go and remain active. that also, just, I'm getting outside of Concom, but just to give you the broader stroke, traffic generation, trips are all reduced. It's just got real good benefits. And again, 244 acres. Kayla can go through what some of the breakdowns are for that. But again, the scale is not super easy, so I can see some of you got the plans. So if you want to follow along, that could work out, or she could actually walk something up.
How big are the lots?
What do we wind up?
They range.
Yeah.
They're like 70 to 80. I think a couple of the narrow ones are like 60 feet in depth, and then I think they're like 80 feet in.
And then because it's a condominium, they wind up being not technically lots, but they wind up being exclusive use areas. And that's another one of the advantages. So because it's a condominium, you've got professional landscaping that comes in. So, grass mowing, different types of landscaping activities can all be coordinated through just kind of a master group that does it, so you don't have X number of independent families all mowing their lawn on Saturday afternoon, etc. So it allows for a good control. Also, the other piece of the equation is that you obviously have all the grounds crews that take care of the whole golf course. So you've got a situation where the people in the units, they want their places to look great. They want to have ownership, private ownership of where they live. But also the other goal is that people are going here and they're golfing. We're also looking out at the houses, so you're able to have a unified approach to to all the landscaping, whether it's the course, and then going over to where the individual houses are as well.
So the requirements are over 55 and you have to play golf?
Yes, exactly. You have to be good. It's over 55. One person has to be over 55. In Weymouth, some people golf, some people don't, some people age out, but they go and get lunch and they're dressed like they golfed in the morning. It's just people are there. Weymouth in particular has been there for how many years, Jim? 30, 20?
Pushing 25, yeah.
About 25 years, tremendously successful. People move in there and they don't sell, their kids wind up selling or their estates wind up selling. It's just tremendously successful from a, just from an economic standpoint. In Weymouth, I believe it's like the largest residential, taxpayer, so it's really healthy for the communities and, the people individually. You go in there and, people have golf carts and they move around and, they're pretty mobile. So it winds up being something nice. The other piece of the equation is we've got obviously nothing's approved from buildings, nothing's built yet, but we've got a waiting list of people who are already have their names in on units. Many of them are already from Pembroke who are saying, hey, is this going to be as nice as I think it is? They visit Weymouth, and we've got quite a few people on the list.
What type of sewerage systems are being put in, individuals or group?
So it's going to be it's going to be one wastewater treatment plant. So that's huge. So we don't have we don't have all a bunch of individual septic systems with Title V setbacks. So that winds up being something that DEP handles.
Was that done because the conditions where this is being put in, it just behoves you to do that rather than kind of get into a wet situation?
Oh, yeah, it's just a massive advantage to doing
I know the land, there's a lot of water out there.
Yeah.
Different layers, there's a lot of gravel, there's a lot of water.
But it's also setbacks, et cetera, to be able to do it.
I understand that.
Wastewater treatment plants, they're super expensive, but when they go in,
So
they're done right, they work well.
250 systems and maintaining them, that's not cheap either, so.
Correct.
My concern is that this runs into Lost Brook, which is already the only major contributor of non-organic pollutants that come into the Herring Brook. Are you prepared to do any studies to monitor the effects this is going to have on that particular watershed? Or what are your plans to make sure that in the future you're not adding more to it? We're already adding 18-hole golf course, you're not taking away 9 holes and putting in this year. Still, so we're adding and adding and adding here.
Well, there's already 18 holes.
Right, that's what I'm saying, so that's already X amount of load chemically on the system.
Yeah.
And it all runs down behind West Elm Street and crosses and goes into the Herring Brook.
Rick, you've got a stormwater report.
Okay, there we go. I'll have to take it home with me.
It's behind my home. You're welcome to come to my house and check it out.
So, good,
See all the
Yeah,
runoff
I
from the
didn't
street.
carry one because it was just,
Okay.
there's a site plan there.
because I know it's quite a, it's gonna be that type of project.
And then Taylor can also show you where, where we got the discharge field, et cetera. And she can run through where everything is proximate.
They did, like, they drilled and they've done a lot of testing to make sure they know where they're putting it, there's no surprises.
Correct. Yeah, and it's all been vetted by Merrill Engineering.
Yeah.
We went through, how many?
4 rounds of peer
Yeah.
review comments?
It's a
So,
multiple rounds.
like I said, is there anything set up in the future to say, this is what we have coming out of this area now, and about 5, 6, 10 years down the road, this is what's coming out of it now?
I'll let Taylor
you know?
address that. We also handle that through just O&M that, that we implore,
Because there is only one drain on that whole area. It all comes down through that little brook, as far as I know.
Will the treatment plant have a dedicated generator?
I'm going to ask Taylor, so
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I'm going to have an actual
Above
person
floor,
with
please.
Past the
with
bucket.
science and
Not
engineering
in the
background.
basement.
You didn't want a pop quiz today? Sorry.
Oh, it all
I
happens.
probably can't answer, I'll let her do it.
Okay.
All right.
Because
It all
I can
happens.
tell you guys are getting into really good technical questions, so I'll hand it over to
All right.
her. She'll also be able to probably preempt and cover something that you'll want to ask, because it's the next thing that leads from it.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Tachio.
you.
Thank you.
Taylor,
Thank
if
you,
you wouldn't
thank
mind
you.
introducing yourself to the commission?
To
everybody else.
The design group. I am the civil engineer. But, so to walk you guys through the site, so as Jeff stated, we're here seeking an NOI from you guys. The site consists of 244 acres located at 94 West Elm Street.
Where's West Elm Street on there?
West Elm Street is right here to your east. You have Dwelly Street up above, and then Hazelwood over here. Oldham Street is located way down there. As Jeff stated, we're an age-restricted development. We have 170 units, of which 162 are new detached homes. We are retaining 2 existing homes located off of Dwelly and West Elm, and we have a proposed 8-unit multifamily to get 172 units, which 170 are new. He also touched upon the existing clubhouse and function space, which are to remain and be renovated to much nicer buildings and function spaces. As stated in the NOI report, we have approximately 460,000 square feet of 100-foot resource area impact. Of that, 26,000 is within the 25-foot buffer.
Can you point out where that is?
Yep. So the majority of that impact is located off of Hazelwood to bring in this access way. Of that 460, approximately half of it's already disturbed today due to golf holes, cart paths, etc. The new disturbance is located, like I said, over here off of Hazelwood, as well as up in this area located off of Dwelly. This impact, I can zoom in if you guys need to see it a little better, but if you look at the layout plan, you can see this access road comes in. We have 2 retaining walls proposed on each side in order to eliminate any wetland impact. We have it's approximately 10,000 square feet within the 25-foot buffer down here.
How many access points do you have?
We have 4. The main entrance that exists today is off of West Elm. That will still be the main entrance for the golf, the function space. We have a separate entrance off of Dwelly, which will kind of be its own subdivision roadway. We have another entrance off of Dwelly, which would be a residence-only entrance that is access for all of these homes. And then we have one more entrance off of Hazelwood, which again operates kind of as its own development. We have 2 access paths. an
I'm
emergency-
sorry, with the Hazelwood, are you accessing Hazelwood, the estate area there? That's where your access is going, so people will
Correct.
have to travel into Hazelwood to get through? Okay.
That's not open all the time?
Is this one open all the time?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
So this one is for these residents only. You cannot cut through the rest of the development. This is gated on either side for emergency access only. Same with this emergency access over here. Gated only for fire access.
How many emergency accesses are there?
I guess 2. So we have this one off of Hazelwood, because Hazelwood, as it exists today, actually doesn't comply with the subdivision rules and regs. It's too long for fire, so that's why we propose this emergency access to go through. And then we have the other one from Hazelwood over to Weatherby, just
Okay,
behind it.
do you have an access road from Dwelly? Dwelly Street?
Two of them.
There's 2.
You have 2 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have one here, like I said, that one operates as its own development.
Okay.
And
So
then
it doesn't have through traffic when you say that?
does not.
Okay, that's what I'm just making sure.
None of them have through traffic to the public, but like I said, residents will
Right.
have a key code where they can
Yep.
pop in and go through.
So back to the land itself.
Cozy little neighborhoods.
Right, nice little subdivision.
Gated community.
So you mentioned, I didn't, you were mentioning some percentages of the 4,063 square feet were within a specific area, and then also 65% of that are new disturbance. Did I get that correctly?
50%.
Thank you, 50, okay. So what I'm wondering with that is that, do you have any mitigation plan for the area that is being removed?
We have not proposed anything.
Okay.
But obviously open to.
Okay, so I mean, someone's up to make a motion. We don't really have enough information to proceed without a peer review or something like that. I mean,
Well, define disturbance.
sorry?
Define disturbance. I want Taylor to define disturbance. You're
Okay.
doing work in the buffer zone,
We're doing minor, yes,
Right.
earthwork in the buffer zone.
but you're not doing work in the wetland.
But we're not doing any work in the wetland. We do not touch the wetlands.
What type of work
But the buffer zone is in our jurisdiction.
Just grading.
Yes.
Yes,
So-
but the NOI is to do work in the buffer zone.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna change the
Yes, it is.
contours and the topography, basically,
Correct.
not digging up holes.
Not digging up
changing.
holes. Nope, it's just to install the roadway and the 2 retaining walls to support the
Do
road.
you have a bigger plan for that section?
Yeah.
That's all we have. That's all you have.
Mhm.
Just has an aerial in it. So, if you need me to come closer, let me know.
Yeah, bring it up.
So the highlighted area is the 25-foot buffer. There's a very minor portion of the roadway, just
Yeah.
a corner within the 25, but
Okay.
all of it is the majority of the grading for this retaining wall and this retaining wall, just to support the road so we do not impact the wetlands.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any drainage to it, or it's not necessary?
Drainage to the wetlands? Or
Drainage to the retaining walls, there's
Oh,
no
nope.
flow?
Nope, so there's a high point right about here.
All right, nice.
Back goes to this infiltration basin, and then the
Nice.
rest goes to that infiltration basin.
Very simple.
A motion to close.
Agree.
What'd you say?
The motion to close it here.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. So you said there's 2
Oh, yeah, right.
existing
Oh.
buildings there. You're renovating the 2 buildings. What exactly are you doing? What's the proposed renovation? Are they're existing houses,
They're
homes now?
existing homes today, and it would just be to renovate them to kind of match the exterior of the new homes so they don't stand out.
Keeping the footprint of what's already
Keeping
there?
the footprint, yep, and just making them nicer, more up to date to match the Weatherby homes.
Avoiding a honky-tonk look.
Exactly.
It's nice of you to talk about all that, but all we're concerned about is this section out here.
It's a style.
I also have a question. So while the work is being performed, what is the water drainage system? Like you're putting the basins and stuff in, obviously, as you're going through, but
Correct. I do
during
have
the process,
a demo plan. What I did with it.
Did you make a 3D model of the whole thing?
Yes, we did. So we have to model everything in HydroCAD.
Oh,
That's what
The
Deb, the
calculations.
peer review engineer, mainly focuses on the drainage, and she's very good at it.
Hundreds of hours. Hundreds.
So
The buildings.
hard to really see, but this would be phased as we go through. So we still owe planning board a phasing plan, so that will be detailed out as you go through each phase, making sure that we're protecting, obviously, wetlands. We are proposing silt sock and silt fence along all of the wetlands and as well as our limbo work to protect the resource areas.
Can we just, you're saying silt sock and silt fence,
Yeah, usually we do both,
both for a reason?
just to be extra cautious.
Proper practice.
Yes.
and so over there, you're not breaking any of the buffer zones, you're keeping them full.
No, so we have all of, so just to go back, so like I said, the main impact is down here, which we would, in that area, you would go up to the wetlands to protect all of that to make sure. But everywhere else, we would maintain the silt sock and silt fence along the 25-foot buffer. It would not go into the 25-foot buffer.
There's detail in the plan of the erosion control.
There is
Sheet 3.8,
8.3.
8.3.
Almost. You're still on the easel rate right now.
Wait, sorry. 8.4. 8.4.
I don't know, does that answer your question? Yeah.
If it's appropriate, I'd make a motion for a peer review.
So do you want us to submit the letter from?
Well, what would you
planning
be
board?
peer reviewing? Would you be peer reviewing the erosion control because your ORAD has already been peer reviewed?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I'm
right.
still here.
But,
I think the planning board, we should
Oh, we
have
just
done
did.
that at the time already.
I know,
Yeah,
we
we don't
did
want to be
that.
duplicitous.
We did that with the ORAD. NRAD was approved,
Correct.
but you're doing the work now, and shouldn't we
So
have
it did
somebody
go-
making sure that you're doing things
Yeah, so that
in
is,
accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act?
correct, and that is what Deb reviews for, as the stormwater regulations take into consideration wetland and resource areas. So all of our basins have been designed to be either greater than 50 feet, or if they are within the 50 feet, it's only detention. So she did peer review that, and we did go through an extensive back and forth with her on those, and we, through the planning process, made revisions to basins to push them away from the wetlands as much as we could. And then the areas where we are close, like I said, it's just a small detention basin.
Yeah, the stormwater management has been thoroughly peer reviewed.
But there aren't any replication areas or mitigation areas proposed.
No.
Cool.
Where,
Can I go through you? Through you? To Andy.
where are all the
You-
houses?
Bob needs
Bob,
Oh,
On
sorry.
this, Merrill's gonna be sending, is Merrill the site
Yes,
engineer? Can we be
Including-
tailed on all his reports so that we see what is happening there, and Merrill is basically looking out for our interest as a peer reviewer as well as planning
Yes.
boards, because we can't double dip into their funds to duplicate something.
yeah. We can definitely do that. We've done that with other subdivisions.
Yeah.
Where the Conservation Commission gets a copy of whatever inspections and reviews are being conducted as the project goes along.
Okay. Like mini as-built basically, as you're going,
Yes,
you know?
yes, so that is a part of it.
Well, there'll be a thorough as-built at the end of the
Right,
project,
right.
but
At the
again, the phasing plan,
Interim.
yes, in the phasing plan, there's gonna be as-built looked at and reviewed.
Right, as a condition of approval of the planning board, it was.
Merrill will keep us informed of what's going on, and let us know when and if we need to do something about something.
And hopefully it won't eat us.
Hopefully not.
When you're digging in the dirt, you never know.
Yeah, part of my process was the location of the buildings in relationship to the wetlands.
So all of the
But
buildings.
we're not there yet.
Yeah, right now, they're may shift a few feet, but we have the footprints where they're gonna be, but all of them are located at 25 foot, if not 50 feet away from the wetlands.
Okay, so this is all gonna be done in phases?
Correct.
Okay.
How big are the plants you guys have in your office? Are they like 7 feet wide?
They're just stacked very tall.
So you can't really look at the whole project on the wall or something?
Not unless you tape them all together.
Right here.
And what do you think the time frame on it
Then
is?
they're 12
Do you have an idea, like expected?
So we're still going through the process with DEP, so ideally we'd have everything wrapped up by summer, and then I would imagine we might wait till golf season slows down a little bit to not disrupt that too much. But
Wait till Columbia Gas is done doing what they're doing and then they're done repaving.
yes,
That's a special interest.
And the water line.
yes.
We gotta talk about that.
All right. Also, in whenever we, right here, I want to make sure we're notified before things start.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean-
happy to do, I think that's part of the planning process, and usually with Concom, we do a pre-construction meeting. So happy to schedule that with whoever is necessary.
Me.
Andy, perfect. So we'll reach out to him before, obviously, anything gets started. And then kind of as we go through the process of installing erosion control and
Yeah,
keeping you up to date on that.
We'd like to take a look at the erosion control issue, install it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I like to look at, with Andy, some of these things, if we know ahead of time, when the phone starts ringing, and we pick it up and they start, we say, oh yeah, well, we already know, that cuts everything right off quick, rather than
Yeah.
getting into a long, well, I thought this, and then I think this, and you start trying to cover yourself.
And just for the history, why I'm concerned about the brook is, when I was a kid back in the 60s, that was a spring, basically fed brook. It was clean. And we had North Atlantic sea run trout in it. They come from the ocean, and they're like baby salmon. So I like to think that they're gonna come back. We've got the beavers coming back now, cleaning the water up, and they will be, finally, they're going into that brook system next. That's where they're gonna be moving backwards, so they'll have a great siltation system put in by the beavers on about 1,000 acres of wetland.
Nice.
Down below you guys, on the other side of the road. That's where it goes into.
Is it south or north?
I mean, we can ask them.
It goes across West Elm Street,
East.
east.
Oh, way over here.
Yeah, right in the very beginning of West Elm Street on the first
Gotcha,
curve,
okay.
I wouldn't say way over.
where the road kind of goes
Yeah,
like,
it's like right
it's
behind
held
us,
up by
I think.
sandbags
I'm like a
now.
block.
I'm gonna ask a pointed question, and you don't have to answer, I know you probably don't. What are the price range are we talking?
What are what?
Price range for these products? So we can get, our
How much
application
are the
quick.
units gonna go for? Do we have a range?
The price range?
Roughly.
Right now, this is modeled after what we're doing up in Weymouth, and most of the homes up there are a little below $1 million, and up into over $1 million.
Oh my God.
Just a reminder, Chair, before you close, if you choose to close the public hearing, before you do that, you may want to ask for public comment.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have one more comment from the board member, Diane?
Yeah, we're gonna do that one for this.
All right.
Did you have something?
No, that was,
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Well, before we entertain a motion, we would
Thank
like to
you.
open this up for public comment. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Open this up for public comment. Please, by all means, could you come up to the podium and introduce yourself? Thank you.
Linda Peterson. I am under the impression that there will be no children to affect the school system.
Yep,
That's not our department,
but that's what the design is, basically.
But I can understand if there's an age group, if there's an age split in, what you said is that one member has to be 55. The other person could be 40 and they have children. Are they allowed to live there is the question I'm asking.
Oh, is there a
That's a good
restriction?
question. How does that work?
Would you be able to speak to that, Mr.
yeah,
Tucci?
the only thing we have on our agenda is that.
Thank you
Good
for
question.
asking that. That's a
Good,
great
really good
question.
question.
It's really important.
Yeah, we can't prohibit necessarily children, so it's age restrictions, et cetera. That would be illegal.
So you talk about the taxes and how it's gonna benefit the town, hopefully that would also
Yeah, our
make provisions
experience
for-
with these is when you're going here, you're not in the procreation phase of your life.
So, do you have any stats on how many, like what?
Oh, maybe they, I don't know.
With student
I
loan
don't know
debt.
what's in the water down there.
Have you had experience in the past where you've done others of these? What is the average that, you know, say, out of 100, how many? under-
Average age?
Yeah, school children. How many school children is what the question was.
School children.
How many school children would be
Please
living in?
introduce yourself. We
So
know
I'm
who you
Jim
are.
Briscoe from the Weather Vane Companies. We, in Weymouth, we have 150 residences.
Yeah.
We've been there for almost 25 years now. We've never had anyone in the school.
No school children.
That's
impressive.
Folks that move in, I mean, it's not to say it can't happen, but.
It's not the norm at all.
Yeah, it's not where folks with kids want to go.
Right.
So it's, grandkids visit, there's visitation
Oh, yeah.
limitations in the condo
Family.
docs. So
Family has to be family.
It's worked out well, biggest taxpayer in the town of Weymouth.
So you just say it's more of like a community pressure for policing that kind of stuff? Like you feel bad if you bring your
Yeah, they-
grandkids in kind of thing?
The condo association monitors the population within
No
the,
playgrounds in that plan, right?
within the community, so everybody has to submit ages every year of residents within their homes, so there's.
But you guys
that's
hire a
tracked
Karen.
annually.
Okay.
You got a Karen that
And the
lives
clerk
at the gate.
receives it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again.
Combination of peer pressure, probably some biology a little bit.
But, you know, there are certain,
Is there, oh, hold on.
waters that come off of
I'm
the
sorry.
golf course now that aren't really pleasurable.
I'm sorry.
I
Is
would
there
love to see
anybody-
organic care of that, they do that today, and that would be a real nice thing to add.
Yeah.
Can't
Is-
tell you what to do, but, it's probably more expensive, I'd imagine, though, that's the problem.
What's that, Nicole?
Is there anybody else that would like
No.
to provide public comment with regards to this project? No?
If you could keep it organic, that would be
We have a
really.
motion on the table to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, excuse me, we shouldn't have closed out, shouldn't we have continued it?
No,
Is it gonna come back?
they're not coming back.
Okay, sorry,
You need to issue an order of conditions.
okay.
Move that we bill according to NOI, NOI, I don't have the number, but we've got the NOI and any comments or conditions that may have been discussed here tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now I
Has a
have,
DEP number been issued?
Yes.
yep, so it's SE 561126. All right, so now I have to read this. Please note that any person aggrieved by this decision has the right to appeal within 10 business days. Please contact our office or DEP if you need assistance. And then after, did I read that too? What? Oh, I'm not wearing my glasses. After a vote to issue an order of conditions, the commission shall have 21 calendar days beginning tomorrow to issue an order of conditions for this notice of intent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
Great
Thank
presentation.
you.
Appreciate it.
Motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's go start, you got it, what, close the meeting.
Yes.
Oh, now we have to reopen it, so I have to.
You wanna take those, make a copy?
I took a picture, so I'm gonna do a
you took a
thing.
picture?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a color-coded thing, because I'm dumb. Yeah.